Welcome to Living Simple and Well, the audio diary for the woman who's doing her best to live a meaningful life, one boundary, one deep breath, one messy day at a time. Hosted by a girl just getting by. This podcast is your safe space for raw conversations, real life lessons, and tiny shifts that make a big impact. From navigating complicated relationships and motherhood meltdowns to curating a soft, slow morning routine and showing up for your dreams. We're talking about it all, vulnerably, honestly, without the pressure to have it all figured out. Here, it's not about hustle culture or perfection. It's about coming home to yourself, simplifying the noise, and choosing to live well on your own terms. So pour your coffee, take a walk, or hide in your closet for some peace and quiet. You're safe here. Hi, friend. Welcome back to Living Simple and Well. It is officially December, and I am just so excited for the holidays. We are watching all the Hallmark movies, snuggling on the couch way more these days. Your girl does not love the cold, so I essentially hibernate this time of year. We are making all the cozy, warm meals. My crock pot gets used overtime in the cold months. We also lightened up our load a little bit as some activities have ended that freed up a couple of days a week for us, so it's feeling really aligned to just start to slow down as the winter is coming. And we are just really focusing on spending lots of cozy time together. Today's episode's a bit different. Today I want to talk about the old me, the new me, and how the heck we make peace with both. I was recently scrolling through some old social media posts. Yes, those absolute cringe-worthy posts. And I found myself laughing, shaking my head, and honestly, feeling a little bit ashamed. And that's when it hit me. Every part of that old me, every awkward choice, mindset I've now since outgrown, it brought me right here to this calm, grounded, soft yet ruthless version of myself. Now, I still carry a lot of the old me, but I carry mostly the lessons that I've learned. So here's the question I want us to explore together today. How do you honor who you were while fully embracing who you're becoming? How do you stop feeling guilty or embarrassed or even frustrated with the journey that got you here? So let's rewind to old me, shall we? Picture me even just a few short years ago. Organized, productive, checking all the boxes, always striving, but secretly a mess inside. My old me was constantly seeking approval, overthinking things, overgiving, and yes, definitely over-apologizing. When my daughter started school full-time, I found myself feeling like I needed to make every single second count when she was away about making money and contributing to our family. I didn't take a minute to even recognize that I just raised a baby into a big girl for the first 4.5 years of her life. Even before this time, I was so immersed in motherhood that it felt like my singular purpose in life, and while being a mom is my absolute priority, I let it consume me. I actually remember quite vividly I had taken on way too much work. I was completely exhausted and yet felt guilty for even wanting to rest. I thought, if I stop, everything will fall apart. I had myself in this vicious cycle of working and earning that felt like if I stopped for even a moment, I'd fully fail. Does that sound familiar to you? Because this was me and it was not fun. I can now see that it was shaping my resilience, my empathy, and the ability to show up fully for others, even if I didn't know how to show up for myself yet. That took some serious reflection, some hard truths, and honestly, some unexpected obstacles to learn just how important putting myself first would become. So let's fast forward a bit. The new me didn't appear overnight. It was a messy, slow, and often frustrating journey. The shift really came when I started paying attention to my own needs, investing in therapy and personal growth, and creating small rituals to reconnect with myself. The contrasts when you look at them head on are stark. The old me was driven by perfection, self-criticism, and constantly busy, whereas the new me is intentional, compassionate, flexible, and grounded. Now, don't get me wrong, this is something that I practice every single day. For instance, the holidays are approaching, and naturally, as the very self-designated leader of my family, I want to control the plans. But just a few short weeks ago, I actually sat down with my mom. One evening, we were together taking my daughter to dance, and I said, listen, I know I always make the plans or start the conversations and eventually get us all on the same page, but I need that to be you this year. I needed to lean on her, knowing that I would want to revert back to being the leader for the holiday plans rather than simply giving my input or my family's availability to my mom and letting her navigate the decisions. This would remove a ton of stress off me that I really, in past years and seasons, was unwillingly putting on myself. And in case you were wondering, I absolutely am an oldest daughter. But in all honesty, it has even caused strain on my relationships with my siblings being at the helm, and it's something that I'm always actively working on. Here's the thing. The new me didn't replace the old me altogether. She learned from her. She takes the lessons and leaves the shame behind. And that's where the real peace started to begin. I am still just as, if not more busy than I was back then, but I approach my busyness differently. I cherish my alone time and intentionally make time for it in my days versus feeling guilty about taking any time for myself at all. The new me still struggles with controlling circumstances very much out of my control, but is definitely working hard at it. The physical difference between the old me who wasn't putting herself first and the new me who is might be over 100 pounds, but the mental and emotional difference is positively weightless. So now we're getting to the heart of it, and that's integration. This is where the growth really happens, friend. You don't need to erase your past self to step into your best self. You can honor her, learn from her, and carry her forward with love. Every version of you has played a role in getting you right here, even the messy, the uncertain, or the not yet ready ones. So instead of trying to start fresh or reinvent yourself from scratch, as someone who's tried that many times before, think of this as a merging, an honoring of both who you were and who you're becoming. If you've not listened to my episode about becoming her before you are her, I highly recommend, if you're ready to step into the next version of yourself, the best version of yourself, that you take a listen to that episode too. So here's how you can start integrating the two. Take a moment to look back with soft eyes. Your past self may not have known everything, but she was trying her best with what she had. What lessons, strengths, or beautiful qualities came from her? What parts of her do you want to carry forward? Maybe her creativity, her resilience, or her hope. I need you to accept all parts of you without judgment. This one takes some serious grace. Forgive yourself for the mistakes, the detours, and the outdated beliefs that you might still be shedding. They served a purpose. They taught you what you needed to learn to stand where you are now. Let go of the shame and see your past as a teacher, not something to escape from. There's a mindset shift, as always, that is necessary and practically habitual that you're going to work at daily, friend. Integration happens in the everyday, in the words you say to yourself. So consider repeating affirmations that root you in wholeness, like I am the sum of all my experiences, and growth doesn't mean leaving parts of myself behind. Let these words guide you. Let them remind you that healing and growth don't mean starting over. They mean expanding. The goal here isn't to compare or criticize who you were, but to create harmony between your past and present selves. To realize that every version of you has something to offer, and that together, they've shaped the woman you're becoming. I want to reiterate that I still practice these integrations on a daily basis, friend. I still catch glimpses of the old me, the perfectionist tendencies, the overthinking of decisions, but now I redirect with awareness rather than shame. I've revisited old habits in healthier ways, journaling daily instead of obsessively planning every second, and choosing to write about the good rather than beg for more when I already have so much. And I consciously celebrate the strengths from my past, the resilience, the drive, and the empathy, because they still serve me so well today. Seeing the old and new self as teammates instead of enemies changes everything. It's liberating, grounding, and honestly, so joyful. So friend, if you take one thing from this episode, let it be this. You don't have to choose between who you were and who you are becoming. You get to hold both of them and thrive. This week, I want you to try one small act to honor your old self while stepping fully into your new self. Maybe write a letter, reflect on a lesson learned, or celebrate a past strength that still serves you today. And if you want, as always, share those reflections or wins with me. I love celebrating these moments of growth with you. Feel free anytime to DM me on Instagram at Living Simple and Well. Next week, with the new year right around the corner and everyone online buzzing about creating resolutions, I am going to challenge you to focus on forming rituals over resolutions and help you reframe what the new year can really mean. Until then, friend, remember, growth is additive, not subtractive. You are the sum of your experiences, and both your old and new self deserve your love. As always, friend, keep living simple and well. Bye for now.